Does it ever get old seeing your name on a bottle?
No, it's actually quite a scary thing.
But you are Australian only.
I guess it's in my blood.
Everyone at some point probably has had a wine in their life. There's no right or wrong.
All right, Masto, good to see you. We're back
Thanks, JB. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us back chat. Actually,
Yeah.
change of scenery today.
in the studio today. A little bit of a different vibe.
Man,
Mix it up a bit.
I'm like, it's like looking at the sun right now.
Big lights. But now that you said it, I
We're also
look
kind
straight at
of
it.
looking at the shining star right here too.
True. So one of your good mates and an absolute shining star in one.
Yes, this is the goat, Emma Farrelly.
The goat.
The goat.
Yes.
The wine goat.
Absolutely.
That's how I
Hi.
kind of have
Hey.
been talking
Hi,
about you for a
thanks.
while.
Oh, thanks. I'll take it.
Yeah. You
I
could-
like goats.
You could put that on a card now or something.
Yeah, put it on your business card.
I actually did have it as an email signature role, just a little goat, like a teeny
Yeah,
tiny
that's
goat.
and then grapes
Just
next
the
to
image.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Perfect.
see how that goes.
But welcome,
What a
Emma,
wanker.
anyway. Emma
Thank
Farrelly.
you.
So for those of you who don't know, Emma is the wine director at the Como Treasury. Wears a few hats, though, out there.
Multiple hats.
And we've wanted to get you on from the start. Felt nervous to ask her.
Had to build up.
Literally had to build up to
Yep,
it.
yep.
Like have some runs on the board before I was like, fuck, do you reckon we can ask Em? I
How'd you
still
go?
felt nervous.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it text or call or in person?
How was it?
No, it was a text.
It was a text, yeah. I probably did that because I'm a coward.
Yeah. And you
yeah.
just hung on it for a few days because you knew you'd be nervous.
It was like I was judging at Melbourne and I got a text and then we were chatting about it and then you said, I wish I could sit behind you and watch you judge. And I was like, that's creepy.
not weird at all. We'll get to that too because that was in my notes. I wanted to chat to you about that because
Yeah.
it is quite funny. But before all of this, unless I'm stealing some of your thunder here, JB,
No, go
but
nuts.
I have known Emma for a fair while.
Yeah.
Always respected the fucking hell out of her, like the whole industry does. I think she does an amazing job, and the way she does it is very different to other top end sommeliers, wine directors, and something that I fucking love. But how in the hell did you get to where you are right now? I don't think we've ever had this combo.
Too much work, really. Just a lot of hard work. I mean, I'm a hospo kid, so, restaurants for my whole life. And then decided that I wanted to go into wine when I was about 21. So I did a little bit of study and and when I was studying, I started working at Must Wine Bar, which was, the kind of
It's kind of OG.
Yeah.
wine venue in Perth. So I ended up staying there for like 8 years, and it was one of those places where it was at that time where everyone was like, "Oh, you're going to go to London? Are you going to go work in Melbourne?" And I had actually been to Melbourne before that, and I was going to go back. I'd lived in Melbourne for like a year, and I was like, "I'll go back," because that's like the hospo. Everyone wanted to be in Melbourne, but that's when I kind of decided that I wanted to study wine and like really get into it and kind of learn everything about it. It was a bit of like an epiphany moment, just kind of overnight. So. Yeah, I ended up at Must and then worked my way up over the first few years and was kind of running the place and buying all the wine and doing that thing. So that was really good. And I worked really hard. Like I never took a sick day. Like that was in my 20s and I was just like...
It's kind of the exact same now.
Had to prove my...
Still has
I
never
know.
taken a sick day.
Still never taken the sick days.
Yeah.
Really wanted to prove myself. I was really competitive and very just invested. So that was cool. I mean, I wish I'm just like, man, I should have had a bit more fun, but it paid off. So then I had my kids pretty quickly, quite close together. And then when they were little, I was doing a little bit of consulting for a few different places. And then, again, I reflected and I think, I should have just had some time off. I should have just not worked. But I think I felt very in the wine industry, if you step out for even a second, you become irrelevant or you forget, you miss what's happening. You get lost, in terms of trends and brands and what's happening in the industry. I don't know if that's true or not. I do sometimes wish that I'd maybe had a bit more time to just, be a mum. But I'm not really good at
Sitting still.
Yeah. So that maybe was it. And then I got approached to do the State Buildings job because I was actually looking after another one of their properties. And they were like, you need to come and work here with us. And I actually turned it down originally. I was like, nah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How
it
come?
was too big, huge job. And I was like, no.
Were you daunted by it a little bit from the outside?
For sure.
Yeah.
And Otis had just started pre-primary, so I was looking forward to finally having 2 kids full-time at school. And I was like, I'm going to go to the beach by myself, read a book.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Then one day you found yourself at the beach with a book and you're like, what am I doing?
No, I didn't even get to the beach. I didn't. They offered me the job. I turned it down. I was like, thank you so much. I would love it, but I think it's just too much for me to handle. And then they came back and they were like, what about if you just do 25 to 30 hours a week? And I was like, oh, it's too good of an offer. So I said yes. And then within a month I was
full time.
this isn't going to work. So then I was full time. So I never got the days at the
wasn't
beach.
it? They probably thought she's not going to do 25 hours.
Yeah, it was clever.
Good way to get her in.
It was clever on their part. So yeah, and I'm still there. Yeah, and it's been 9.5 years. So yeah, I mean, it's our 10th birthday month this month. So
Wow.
It's crazy.
and I'll be 10 years next year, early next year.
So wine director at the State Buildings.
Yeah.
What's the biggest takeaway of change that you've seen in that 10 years?
I mean, I think I've changed a lot because I've grown up there a bit. Yeah. Again, like, you know, I've sort of done 2 really big chunks of time at 2 different sort of institutions. And what I loved about Must was that it was small and like a really cool family and just one venue that you can really pour all your like energy and heart and soul into. And then what I love about this venue is that there's multiple venues. There's so much to do. So it's kind of hard. You don't feel as necessarily attached to any particular venue, but the whole place is pretty special. So I think what's changed in 10 years of being there, I mean, people's tastes, like I think the drinking habits of West Australians has changed a lot in 10 years. I've seen some trends come, seen some trends go.
A couple good ones, couple good ones. Have you seen the back end of?
So that's been quite interesting. And also like personally, just the way I, like, again, what I found probably important in the beginning, again, was really proving myself. Because it was a huge job, lots of lists. Yeah. So like writing really, you know, elite wine lists and making sure all of them were really different and structured around the food and the concept of the venue, that was super, super important. And now it's obviously still important, but that sort of comes a lot more naturally and it's not as much what I spend my time doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of changed a bit.
Different gears.
Yeah, different gears. And like, I don't know, trying to obviously, as I'm getting older, trying to, I guess, invest more in staff and kind of, you know, work closely with teams and younger people and, you know, inspire them and train them and mould them, shape them.
Yeah. And what is the biggest trend you reckon you've seen come and go though? So like Natty Wine, for instance, is probably since I was in the wine game, it was probably...
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of like
faulty,
unclean, faulty, wacky shit out there. So that's definitely changed a lot because people just don't want to drink those anymore. And I guess I probably did buy into a little bit of that in the beginning, and now I'm like still, it's all about clean, well made, good fruit, good farming, that kind of vibe. Pet Nat obviously
that was a big one for a second
in the beginning, and then that's really died in the last couple of years. But certainly for our venues, that we're not really super pet natty venues. We do have like a couple, but not, and you know, a couple of well made ones, but not a lot. Piquette, do we need to talk about that disaster?
Yeah,
sorry for everyone who made Piquette,
like
but that was like not a great idea. I was talking about that last week with someone in Melbourne. We were like,
so Piquette, if you don't understand, it's like the grape must. So you've already made wine out of it. Tell me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
Yeah, and then you like rehydrate it with water. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And a little bit of yeast. So it's like way less alcohol, way less flavour, and just like it's like 5 to 7%.
It tastes like watery,
wine. It's
watered down.
Weirdest concept ever. But
was that one that was kind of born out of the marketing room? It was, hey, kids are wanting.
Nah, they were doing it in France.
Well, they make it in Europe and they feed it. They give it to like the vineyard workers, you know, like to the pickers and stuff at lunch. Yeah. So they sort of have a little bit of booze, but it's not too hectic.
You can still get back at it.
And they can still,
It's basically hydration.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But it's not pleasant to drink, really. It's not. It just
I've never had a good one.
No.
Not even close to good.
I don't know that there is a good one. I don't know. It's just one of those weird things that artists do not want to put in mouth. Do not put in mouth.
Yeah, do not.
DMPIM. Do not put in mouth. Yeah.
You've got a list there, right?
Oh, like there's a few.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that, and I think, you know, the whole COVID thing, because that was, you know, obviously, you know, a couple of years at the buildings where we did some really weird stuff. You know, like I look back and I'm like, that was a weird time.
The whole building was allowed 10 people in it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. So that was a really interesting time. And I think people's drinking changed. Obviously during that time, people kind of going back to brands that were recognisable and reliable, consistent products. So I think, and I feel like there's still a little bit of people sitting in that space at the moment. Obviously with the cost of living, everyone's got no money. So people want to drink things that they are familiar with, that they know if I'm spending $50 on this, I know I'm going to get something that I'm comfortable and happy with, not as experimental. Yeah, potentially.
I see that every day as well. Yeah. It's like pretty recognisable brands definitely help as well in the WA space, I find.
Yeah.
But like people just have no trust. Like wine lists are very Sauv Blanc, Chardonnay.
It's all gone a bit back to
very
safe.
Almost basics, but
safe. Yeah. So not
But
that I
like-
feel like I'm safe, but I feel like
Well,
you just have to make sure.
how many wines have you got at the Treasury?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
There's like what?
Billions.
A couple thousand? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. So I'm super lucky because there's always a space for something, you know.
Yeah.
Is
a really
there
cool spot.
are there a few that have surprised you over the journey that probably you put it on the list in pencil and you rubbed it out and you put it back and it actually did
Things
better
that,
than your
yeah,
expectation?
absolutely, yeah. I always enjoy like watching what staff get behind and
Yeah.
what they want to push and I love weird things in long gym because I love playing around with like spice and heat with wine. I think it's really interesting. We tend to drink the expected things like off-dry Riesling, aromatic whites, fairly gluggable, juicy reds with not too much tannin. But I think it's fun to like mess around with interesting wines
Yeah.
with Thai food. It's super fun. So like sparkling Shiraz works really well
Really?
with like Massaman curry. It's awesome.
No doubt.
It's really
but
cool.
you kind of have a theme here. You like pairing weird things like the Lawson Flats.
Yes,
we've
I
done
do.
a wine club together. You do one every month.
Once a month, yeah.
And last one, was
Yeah.
it last one?
Yeah, last one was great wine, shameful snacks. So it was
Yeah.
like
Which
pairing
is
wine
pretty
with
cool.
junk food, which I've done about 3 times because people love it. They get really excited, and it is fun.
So it's like Cheezels, Oreos. I remember you saying Oreos.
yeah, did
are very good.
Oreos, did Cheezels, barbecue Samboys. I did these really vinegary salt and vinegar cracker things.
And
Okay.
pairing them with different
Yeah.
wines from all
Yeah,
around.
I love
It's
that.
pretty cool.
What a
It's
great
cool.
idea.
Yeah, it's fun.
Was
yeah,
it
people
okay to
love
put
it.
like a cheesel on every finger?
Everyone did it.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone did
Nice.
it. I was like, you have to.
Yeah,
We're
sorry,
not.
rite of passage.
Yeah, you can't have Cheezels any other way.
Yeah.
Got to be one on each finger.
And what did you pair with it?
Cheezels, I always like orangey wine, skinsy things
Yeah.
with Cheezels. Yeah, because of that fake cheese. Something about it works very well, juicy.
True.
So I did a Brave New wine, the Pistopia.
Wicked.
I did that with it. And
You
it was
did that
yum.
sparkling Rizza. What did you pair with that one though?
That one was the Hoi Mai Entertainers Pack, which is like that in the freezer section, and it comes. It's like little spring rolls, little money bags, and little samosas. But it was great with that sparkling Riesling. Super refreshing. Everyone loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love to hear that. And that's kind of like what we're saying when you're wearing lots of hats. So you're doing this stuff for Lawson Flats, which is sort of a sister venue to Mellow House. I'd
Yeah,
say,
it's
which
another
is in the
members club.
Treasury.
So yeah, owned by the same family. And it's cool. Like Lawson's is a really fun place to do kind of different, little bit less serious stuff, which is, state buildings, everything we do is quite, we really pride ourselves on doing amazing experiences with wine. So even though we have done some quirky stuff over the years, it's like everything has is probably a little bit more serious, whereas at Lawson's we can
You can get away with a bit more.
definitely get away with a bit more.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And like wine club's becoming like, because I get a lot of regulars that come every month and it's becoming like, it's wine, like it's drinking wine, but it's talking shit and it's like,
It's
I don't
kind
know,
of
a bit of
perfect.
therapy for everyone.
As it should
Maybe
be,
me.
right? Yeah.
I just like talk about way too much stuff. They all know about like my whole family. They know about the problems I'm having with my kids. They know about, they're all like, oh, what's happening this month? And I'm like, come to wine club, find out.
That's fun. How good's
What a hot
that?
mess I am. No, it's good.
One
But it's really
family,
fun.
yeah.
There's also, though, the other end of the spectrum, I suppose, like you're managing those private sellers for the
Yes.
big dogs.
Yeah, we have 33 private sellers,
Yeah.
which we lease to members and then we sell wine to them.
So what's that? How does that work?
It's like, it's actually really cool. It's like wine jail. It's like the sellers themselves are really cool. They're all different
Wine
sizes.
jail.
So there's 4 different sizes and they're all a little bit different, but it's all very dark and beautifully lit. So their cellars only light up when you walk in.
Nice.
And it's that beautiful yellow, like lighting because it's like with special UV lights. So it doesn't, so the wine is all very safe.
Right.
It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for members. So they can come in and access their wine whenever they want to. It's like eye scanny,
Eye scanning.
like face
it's-
scanny, Cody.
It's legit. There'd be
James
some
Bondy.
money in those sellers.
Yeah.
Right,
and
so
they're
this
2
is
stories.
if you've got
Yeah.
a great collection of wine, this is where you store it and you can come and access it whenever
if you want to have a great place to store your wine, that's quite convenient because it's in a really cool, easy location as well. So it's quite close to the city. And then we sell wine to these people as well. So when we get allocations, they get first offers.
Wow.
On lots of allocated stuff, which is pretty cool. And then we do events for them, like dinners. We try and kind of create a really cool wine community. So it's about like not only storage, but having a place where people can come and talk wine. And we do some BYO things. They can all bring something different and, share wine with each other. And it's
Yeah.
cool. Like if they're going to Europe, we'll try and organise some visits and stuff if they need it or wherever. So it's just whatever they kind of need
It's really cool.
if we can. Yeah, it's cool.
You been in there?
I haven't been in there, no.
Oh,
but
I'm going to show you. It's awesome.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
Okay. It's really cool.
You
I like
don't-
it a lot.
You don't have your own little jail cell yet?
Yeah.
Not like that, no. I wish. But you would see, like, I've got no doubt there'd be some of the craziest shit.
It's pretty fun just cruising around and just peeking in people's cellars and seeing
Yeah, I bet.
what they've got. It's fun.
What's the craziest thing you've seen in there, or the thing that's really caught your attention the most?
I don't know. One guy's got quite a lot of Wendouree, which is always nice to see, like good collections of those sort of like really cult Australian wines that are hard to get. Like you can't just buy those. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit like, oh, kind of want to make friends with him. So I'm like, I'm gonna drink those. Yeah, I mean, a few people have got some really like some large format stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Saving them for like kids' birthdays, anniversaries, and stuff. So big bottles of like cool vintage things that they want to have.
Yeah,
like,
God, yeah, I love a big bottle.
Which is
Have I
cool.
told you that before?
Yeah.
large format. It's best.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
best way to drink.
Big
A
dogs.
Magnum's only 2 bottles. It's actually weird. Like we don't.
We should be drinking more Magnums.
So many more Magnums.
And Balthazars
Yeah.
and like all of them.
It's 2 bottles. It's not much. People work out, Magnum, that's so much. Like in Champagne, they call a Magnum a bottle for 2,
Yeah.
which is correct.
But we don't really do it much here.
Not as much.
Not as much as we should.
No, not as much as we should.
Like we get a couple, like off the vine gets in a couple 12-litre bottles of Laurent Perrier champagne every year, and they're like the easiest sell ever. Like there's only 2 of them, but
Yeah.
like they're gone really quickly
Yeah.
because people buy them for birthdays or
They're so good for parties.
man, you put it in a wheelbarrow. It's 12 litre. It's fucking
Yeah.
heavy too. The glass is like that thick.
Yeah, they're pretty hectic.
It's heavy, so you put it in a wheelbarrow full of ice, and you got like that's how you.
fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's good.
it's wicked.
It's a bit of theatre.
it's fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
people love it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a big bottle?
No shit.
Bottle, yeah.
And then not only that, so you're doing all of your work, never going home, don't sleep type shit. But then you've just got back from Melbourne as well, judging the wine show over there.
Melbourne Royal? Yeah.
This is kind of where it came. Emma said she was just judged this crazy bracket. And I was like, I would just love to sit behind you and watch you drink. And then as soon as I texted her, I was like, oh, wow, that is so crook and weird.
I needed to say that, not write that.
Didn't come
And
out
it
the
was
way
like, but I would be like
thought
so
it.
happy watching her. I'd be like, oh, yeah.
What are you
yeah,
doing?
Yeah,
No, it's actually pretty boring, I guess, watching. It's just like a lot of people swirling, sniffing.
Yeah.
Spinning. But it's cool. Yeah, judging's great. I love it. I felt like I did a really good job this time as well. I don't want to sound like you get nervous though. You know, it's a lot of
you?
pressure. Yeah, I always get nervous.
What
I get
happens
nervous
the
for
night
everything I
before?
do.
What's going through your head the night before?
That you might fuck it up.
It's like game day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's game day. You gotta be on.
But
you
what
gotta,
could fuck it up?
You might pick the wrong wines.
Yeah.
You got to pick the right wines. So you got to pull the right wines out. And like I think when I was texting you, I think had just done a bracket of like 24 Tassie Pinots.
Yeah.
Which are pretty epic. And so there's like
good
36
bracket.
on the table. So you're looking at 36 wines trying to pull out. And essentially you only want to pull out probably so there's 5 of you on a panel. You taste blind, you judge and score, and then come together. And ideally, you want to kind of be matched on golds because then you do
Right.
callbacks.
Yeah.
So you'd only want to maybe get about 6 to 8 callbacks, maybe 9 for a really good bracket. And that's the golds people have pushed forward, and then you whittle that down to maybe top 2 golds out of those 8, because that's what will go through to
Trophy
final.
round.
And there might be I think there was a split class. There was another whole table of 24 Tassie Pinots. So for that little guy to win, you got to push him forward, and yeah. But
would
you want
be-
to, when you pick wines, when you gold wines and your panel chairs also golded them, and like maybe 1 or 2 other people on the panel have golded them, then you're like, fuck yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Right, so you want some level of
You want-
consensus there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Which
don't
is why
want
there's
to be,
5 of you.
the outlier on the table that's giving
Yeah.
someone a gold and everyone else is giving it no medal.
And that happens all the
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah.
yeah, it happens all the time. And you can fight for them, but it's harder. So, yeah, but it's really cool. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I love doing it because it's really good for my palate. It's really good for me being in WA, like going over to the East Coast and
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
meeting
seeing what's going
a
on
bunch of
there
people.
too.
I get to taste with awesome winemakers and really cool wine people that I like deeply respect. So it's fun. Then we have a couple of fun dinners and we take bottles and
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you learn
always do.
stuff, it's
Yeah.
social, it's
Yeah.
good for WA.
yeah, it's super fun.
Win-win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
probably
kind of
in your
exhausting.
room as well. There'd be some heavy sort of hitters,
Yeah,
like
totally.
big winemakers,
Yeah.
big wine people that have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you want to, like, your panel chairs are often, like, just legends, and you're like, fuck it
no
up.
doubt.
Don't fuck it up.
Don't
Tom
fuck it
Carson,
up.
So-
Yabby Lake, he's like, pick the right wines, Emma. You're like,
All right.
okay.
But
Yeah,
you-
who's the
you-
most intimidating?
Tom Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. But he's great. I've cracked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're mates now.
you'll wear him down.
Yeah,
no
we're
doubt.
good mates now. But he said to me, like, after the end of the week, he was like, you were on fire this week. You did great. And it's like, nothing could have made me prouder.
And die happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was stoked. Like, this is the
Yeah,
best
just
day.
got a little smile on, like
the
head
best
wobble,
day.
like, oh yeah, fuck, I'm
And I was like
killing it.
moonwalking out of there. I was
Yeah.
so stoked.
That's like when you have music in your head, when something really good
Yeah,
happens
like-
and you're
Yeah.
walking away and you're like,
Yeah, I
I'm
killed it.
feeling that.
Yeah.
I haven't
Like a
had that
walkout-
feeling ever
A
before.
walkout song.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's good. So I do usually try and do a couple of shows a year. So you usually get a 3-year circuit
Yeah.
rotation, and then then you might be able to do panel chair. If you're really good, they might ask you to come back and be panel chair for 3 years. So this is just my second year of being a regular judge at Melbourne, and I did Brisbane as well, first time this year. So,
Right.
yeah, because I've still done lots of WA shows, and now kind of doing some more.
Get out.
Yeah.
And so with your palette, right? So this is would no doubt a great experience and would help you refresh, I suppose, because it's not like you've come from nowhere. You're in those shows for a reason, like you know what you're tasting, but really good for your palate there. But originally, like naturally, you've got a great palate, but always
I
when
think
you're a
so.
kid, like you've
Yeah.
spoken to me about things you remember from like
Yeah, I'm pretty I have memories of food and
yeah.
I loved feeding people, and I still do. Like I'm a feeder
Yeah.
and a service human. You know, that's my
Yeah.
act of what is it? Your love language? I don't know what those are, but
acts of service.
Acts of service. Yeah, mine is acts of service and like feeding. And I was always the one like making everyone lunch, making dinner, obsessed with giving people good food, good drinks.
Hence the hospo thing.
Yeah, which is why I love hospo, and it's a super fun industry. And it's that whole difference between, we always talk about the difference between service and hospitality, and it's very different. Like you can just serve someone, but then you can give them hospitality, which is a completely different feeling. And that, I have it naturally. You can teach it. Some people have it naturally, some people don't.
What's the difference? Care?
It's learning, it's reading the customer, it's paying attention, it's listening, and just doing those extra little things.
Well, it's connection, like having a
Yeah.
little connection with someone that you're serving or that you're helping at.
Yeah, you
choose
just
the
want
right
them to
meal
have
or
the
whatever
best
it is.
time ever. You know,
Yeah.
it's like if people come to your home and, I love having dinner parties and stuff, like having people over. There was a dinner party at my house last night. I wasn't even there, and there was a dinner party happening. Long story, but I got home and I was like, "Oh, we're making risotto, great." So, yeah, I just feel like if people are coming over, it's like you go through the checks, you make sure everything's clean and tidy, and you've got clean linen, and candles are lit, and the cool music's on, and you've got snacks, and you've got fresh ice, and you've got limes, and all the things. And it's a bit the same in restaurants, like mise en place. It's like you got to make sure everything's ready to go. So I don't understand people who struggle to learn that.
Yeah.
When you've got staff who you're like, mate, why are you not ready? Like you got to be ready. It's like you're on.
Yeah.
And it's like a performance. It's
Yeah,
like going
literally.
on stage and doing an act.
Yeah.
You have to leave all your shit at the door, and that I can compartmentalize like an absolute boss. Like I don't want to brag, but yeah, I'm really
just
good
facts.
at it. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
Because you have to. Like you can have the shittest day, and then you have to rock up and
Smiles on.
smile, and often speak to a room about wine of a particular theme when something mad might be happening in your personal life, and you're like, and here we are today to talk about champagne.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm so good at doing it now, it's a bit frightening. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, where's that going to lead you? Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's scary. But it is, it's like that's what you have to do. And it's, you leave everything at the door, you have to look after people and make them feel good. And I think the best thing, and I say this sometimes to staff, like if someone's having a shit day and they're being an arsehole, customers, which often we get, the best thing that you can try and do is work on them and flip it so that when they leave, they're
They're in a
like
better mood. Yeah.
in a great mood. And then you just like, I nailed that.
That's the ultimate win, isn't it?
That's the ultimate win.
Yeah, someone's looking for problems. They're that.
Yeah,
They're
and
that low
they've
and you
sat
can help
down
turn
and they're
it
in a
around.
shit mood for
Yeah.
whatever reason because they've brought their day to the table as
Yeah.
well. And then you can read it and you can go, okay, this guy's had a shit day. What am I going to do to try and fix that
Yeah.
for him? And it's cool. And it's just that bringing people things before they've even asked for it, but anticipating what they want, knowing how much to touch on the table, how much to step away, how friendly to be, how read the situation.
It's a bit of an art, hey?
It's just it's natural.
Yeah.
for me,
So,
but-
on the other side of that, when
Yeah.
you're sitting at the table,
yeah.
what are the things that you really notice? And can you switch off from assessing it?
Definitely not in my own venues.
Yeah.
I'm rubbish in my own venues because I'm always watching. But lighting, music, wage percentage. One of my first bosses taught me and those three things are, I notice them in every venue I walk into. Lighting is important
Yeah.
Yeah.
because, I'm a dimmer. I love to dim. You don't want to, this is, I
It's just different. It's
feel like
fun.
I'm sitting under
Yeah.
the moon. It's like,
Yeah.
lighting, music, obviously, it's
Yeah.
got to be the right volume and it's got to be
Ambiance.
good. Ambiance.
Ambiance.
The ambiance. And wage percentage. Are there too many staff? Are there not enough staff? Are the staff working? Are they just standing around?
Oh, so you're even thinking to the business side too.
Yeah.
Yeah. While you're having dinner.
Yeah.
Full on.
I know.
Yeah.
Doesn't really switch off. But I love going out.
So what's
to
the
venues.
service you've
It's great.
received that's impressed you the most outside of one of your own venues?
I was just in Melbourne, and Melbourne has always been like the best at hospitality. They just, I don't know, something about it. And I went to this place called Scottbury in Carlton. I caught up with a friend there for her birthday, and it was just that, it's this old school Italian place, and it's just comfortable. It's grown up.
Warm,
It's warm. Again, like they knew exactly what we wanted. They knew exactly what to do. Like everything, they were just like, and what I think you should have, and do this, and blah, 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 blah. And it was just like, oh God, this is so good.
Yeah, I love it.
Because you just love to be looked after.
Take charge, and they're
Yeah.
like, well,
'Cause
even I don't want to order, just like,
just bring me the things that are great.
Yeah.
I trust, And when you go to good venues and you trust, and they just bring you stuff, and that's awesome because I make a lot of decisions. So actually, when I go out, I don't want to make any decisions. So I'm like,
it, right? Yeah.
somebody else choose for me.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah.
How good is it when that happens?
rare.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
the best. I
It's the
find
best.
like really good hospitality is almost like, it's almost flirty. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like on that line where you're like, oh, everyone feels good. You know,
Yeah.
like,
And you've got to
it's
be
two-way.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to be careful of like how much can I joke, how much
Yeah.
banter can I have with the
Well, yeah, 'cause
table,
everyone
like
has, it's a grey area with like one person's
Yeah.
okay, so another
Yeah.
person's too far.
yeah, exactly. So you got to be careful about, and obviously you want to listen to them because listening to them and what they're talking about without sounding like a creep.
Yeah.
I want to sit behind you and
Yeah,
watch you drink wine.
and smile and be like,
wanna
yeah,
sit
let's
behind you and
go. How good are you doing?
No, but without being a creep, you want to listen to them because then that can give them insights into things. So like
Sure.
at work, and I think, you can always do little things to make people's experience a little bit better. So it's like, if someone might be, especially in the buildings, like talking about the place with their friends, like, oh, there's hotel rooms here. Have you ever stayed? Blah, blah, blah. And we have the ability to be like, oh, did you guys want to, after dinner, do you want me to take you to see a room? And people go, what? Like, oh, you mentioned that you hadn't, sorry, I overheard that you said you hadn't stayed before. So did you want to come and have a
that's
look at one of the
cool as
rooms? Like little things like that then they like, well, we were there and then what happened was, and it's just
And
those
they were
little
actually paying attention. It's like
Yeah,
you're
it's
having a
little-
conversation.
experiences
Not
that
reading from
make
a
people.
script. Yeah.
It's on our water bottle. Little bit of State Buildings merch, branding.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
work.
lovely.
Good work.
Create exceptional experiences.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's what we do every day. We try to. That's kind of what we try to instill in the team. Like whether it's front office, valet, and we love it when we get that feedback. Like, oh, from the minute I pulled up at valet to when I left, I felt seen. I felt, looked after.
Yeah, great.
And that's what we want to do for people.
Tough
Look after
thing,
them.
like, because you've got your personal life that's going on and switching that off and turning
Yeah.
on, but still being you and
Yeah.
authentic.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
out.
going back.
It's your job, and like if
your job.
you take
Yeah.
it seriously, like
Yeah.
you got to do those things, don't you?
Yeah.
Like everyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm pretty I don't know, I think I'm a pretty, like people have said to me, what is that saying? Like you wear your heart on your sleeve. Like I'm pretty, people usually that know me will be like, you all right today? Like, it's like, you've got the mask on,
Yes.
but sometimes in the eyes. So, but yeah, I just try and be, I just want to do a good job always. It's important. It's just what I
I think you do a pretty good job of it.
what I
love.
feel is important to me. I don't know. I will, like my dad raised us to like, work hard and be the best at what you do.
So is that where it comes from? You said at the top, always been a hard worker.
Yeah.
We're in hospital, you just attacked it.
Yeah.
And then as your career progressed, never really wanted to take a day off because there was a element of...
Weakness.
Yeah, that's it, right? FOMO, what if I miss out on something, an
Yeah.
opportunity, whatever.
Yeah.
Did it start at home? Was it your old man? Is that where that came
Yeah,
from?
I mean, I don't know. Dad's Italian, so yeah, like from Italian descent. So he had that really strong work ethic, and that is instilled in all of us. Like me and my sisters, we're all pretty good workers, and all pretty, have done pretty well in our chosen fields, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. We just, I'm not sure. I like working hard. I don't know what it is.
Is that the food thing comes in as well? Like a bit
Yeah,
of
a little
Italian
bit.
heritage
Yeah, I
there?
mean, my mum wasn't a great cook when she met my dad, and he's very honest, still will be if he doesn't like something. So yeah, but she's a great cook now. Like it's, it took her, like she just learned and
yeah.
progressed. So yeah, but we're a very food orientated family, I guess, coming from the Italian side, I guess.
And wine also then? Like
Yeah, and
hand
Dad
in
always
hand?
loved wine. Yeah. So as kids, we were dragged around to wineries, and that was always on the table.
So you weren't growing up like drinking Cooler Bar, Fruity Lake Sour?
No.
No.
I mean,
That
look,
probably helps.
probably.
We all had one.
We all
had
had
a couple sessions.
Yeah,
on
I remember
those.
like being that, choosing wine when I was young that just had Cool Label or,
Yeah.
picture of a
everyone's
fish
done
on it
that.
or something.
Yeah.
As we all do. But yeah. And, that's what is really cool now so I've got two boys and they both work, 15 and almost 17, and they work in hospitality in that space, and it's great. Like they come home and they're like, man, you know, they'll complain about something, you know, about customers, or they'll be like really impressed with something that happened. And yeah, I just really like
cool.
watching them like kind of learn to love it as well. It's cool. Yeah. And have that kind of pride watching them come home and be like, oh, this happened at work today and I nailed it and I feel really good. It's cool. Yeah.
Generational.
Yeah.
How do you-
I wanted them to get, they were like both desperate to get jobs as soon as they were
Really?
of age. Couldn't wait to earn their own money, and
That's cool.
maybe because I never bought them anything.
That's it.
But one of them's
That's not true.
one of them's at Angelwood Pies.
Yeah.
Which is like in
Oh,
Leading,
they're great.
which is off its head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Restore as well in Leading,
Yeah,
which
in
is
Leading.
like
So they're pretty great.
pretty good pedigree.
Yeah,
there as
great
well.
places to learn and to be,
Yeah.
you know, like good mentors and great people to kind of train them and teach them. So
Yeah.
that was also handy. Like working in hospitality, you've kind of got nice contacts that you can say, hey, mate, my little guy needs a job.
Yeah.
He's got no experience, but he's not going to let you down. And I'm like,
Promise.
don't let them down. You know,
My rep is on the line.
No pressure at all. They were like, oh my God. But no, they're good. It's cool. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah. And I think everyone should work hospo. Like everyone should. Either hospo or in the health system, hospitals.
Yeah.
Well, I think the hospo thing, man, I can't say much about the hospital side, but I feel like there is this thing in WA especially, probably Australia as a whole, where it's not considered a career. You know, like you go do hospo when you're at uni getting a real job.
What else are you doing?
But like,
What are you studying? I used to get that all the time. What are you studying?
which is really unfair because like you go to Europe and immediately you're like, oh wow, there's history of it for sure, and that makes a huge difference. But like it's more of a respected
Totally.
career path.
Yeah.
Like as really good hospo should be considered here as well.
Yeah.
Like it's an art, like you said. There's a lot that goes into it, and not everyone can be good at it. Like
And that's just the service side. I mean, then you've got
Yeah.
like all the back of house and the bloody. I mean, you're essentially that's part of the role. But then you're like, you know,
but no one can
finance,
taste
money,
wines like you either.
P&Ls,
You know what I mean? Like there's all these
be a
little
psych,
tiny
you know, with
talents.
your
Like
staff,
Yeah, no
essentially
shit.
part-time psychologist, fucking, you know, school teacher. Because you know you're generally dealing with young
Yeah.
people,
Younger
so
crew.
You got to really look after them and make sure they're okay.
So have you had to, because you were saying one of the things you love at the moment is being able to kind of mentor the next kind
Yeah.
of group of people kind of coming through. Have you had to soften to be able to do that? Or are you still...
learning how to have conversations with people so that they I guess I've probably always been a little bit too nice, so I've
really?
actually
Yeah.
probably had to learn how to be a bit tougher.
Okay. So it went the other way for you.
Yeah, 'cause I'm pretty
hard on
nice.
yourself, but
I'm
to
nice
others.
nice on others, so I've had to sort of learn how to be a little bit more firm but fair.
Yeah.
The compliment sandwich, I like using that one.
Yeah.
It's like, you look really good today. You did a shit job. I like your shoes. You know? Something like that.
Yeah.
No.
But you
I think it's
also
important.
care about like the whole industry as a whole with this though. Like her own staff, like I know she does a great job. Like it's evident, you can see what's going on at the Como Treasury. But in the industry as a whole, like Acid Club that she has with all the girls, like there's a bunch of girls,
Yeah,
which I'm
that's
hell
fun.
jealous I'm not allowed to come to.
It
But like,
wasn't really that it was meant to be girls. It just kind of happened that way, and then it kind of grew. And
But
you
it's
know.
fair enough though. Like, so do you want to explain that? Because I think it's the coolest thing ever. when I
we
found
just
out.
it's just a bunch of wine girls who, a couple of reps and people who sell wine, people who buy wine and then sell it on the floor. A couple of retail girls. So we just get together and. It's called Acid Club. I don't. We started with Riesling. We were just like, we don't drink enough Riesling and eat enough Asian food. So we were like, we need to do more of that. So we started with Riesling, and then we did Nebbiolo and Lebanese food. And so it's just like everyone take a bottle of a variety, and we just go somewhere BYO. And it's just a nice way to. We don't do it often enough because we're really bloody busy, but it's super fun, and it's just nice to kind of. It's not about necessarily just being females, but sometimes it's really nice to have. You know, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a really good female wine crew in Perth. We're so lucky. There's so many great women in the industry now, which is such a change from when I started, when it was like really male dominant. So it's kind of just, I don't know, just having a bunch of women together. It's sort of,
It's awesome.
it just changes the.
I was just taking
dynamic.
the piss. I'm just jealous because
Yeah.
I see the photos and I'm like, fuck, I wish I was at that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's pretty fun.
but you are 100% right though, with the male dominated traditionally, but right now it's almost flipped on its head in the state, which is cool. Emma,
Yeah, it's great.
Fonnie, Erin, like
Yeah.
like Camilla. There's so many girls doing like women at the top of their game and kind of like outshattering the blokes at the moment, which is fucking cool.
It's really cool.
I reckon.
Yeah. After like,
And you can taste better. honestly, you've got better palates.
we're just
than
better.
Most men.
I think, you know, and I've had some really, I've worked with amazing men. You know, I've had some really amazing male bosses, mentors, leaders, managers. So I love both camps, obviously. Like there's a lot of reasons why we all need to like learn how to work together. But you learn from working with younger males sometimes who might not necessarily love being told to do by a woman. You know, I've had that before where you're like, okay, well, how am I going to figure out how to speak to this person so that, you know, how do we get on a level where it works? And I've certainly had complete messes. Like I've fucked it up like multiple times. But you learn every time. You're like, that wasn't a great idea. Like, grow up.
Try it another way.
Be better. Yeah. It's again, that's that how to, and I think I'm quite an impatient person. I'm actually very impatient, and I would say probably a little bit intolerant sometimes.
I've never seen that. That's bullshit.
So I guess, yeah, I've had to really learn how to do those things, like how to be more patient, figure out, okay, how am I going to, communicate with this person to get the best outcome out of them.
Yeah, because not everyone's you, right?
No, and not everyone's going to respond to the way I instruct them to do things well. So, but it's all, again, that's like, you feel really proud of yourself when you actually can do it and do it well and get the best out of someone, even though you sort of, and you know, hospitality, sorry. I knew I was going to do
the mic
that.
cage, yeah.
Hospitality is full of personalities clashing because it's a lot of big personalities and a lot of people who, you know, it's a funny industry because we're working crazy hours, late nights, weekends, you know, you miss a lot of stuff, family stuff, social stuff with friends because you're working all the time. So your workmates become your family. And, it's about sometimes you think everyone has to get along because we work in hospitality and we all have to be really good friends, but then you sort of remember like we're all here to do a job and we don't have to necessarily love each other, but we need to figure out how to respect and work alongside each other that is, you know, seamless and peaceful. So that's also something that I've had to figure out as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know, when you're building a wine list, what are the factors? What are you balancing out, and how hard is it to kind of remove your own personal taste from that?
Yeah, I don't know, because sometimes people say that's an Emma Farrelly wine list. Did you do that? I'm like, what's an Emma Farrelly wine list? But yeah, I think balance obviously of, like, you need to think about the food. Like if it's a restaurant, like food, obviously, style of food, the way people are going to eat, whether it's individual or share plate kind of situation. And I guess everything has to have, like for me, I'm lucky because I said I have multiple venues, so I can have kind of different themes across the venues, but balance of varieties, price points, regions. You know, sometimes people, no matter where you are, people always want to splurge a little bit, so it's important to have some things where people can feel like they're kind of, you know, they can push the boat out if they want to. I think for me now it's about really supporting great producers and great farming and great vineyards and really highlighting those things because we're so lucky in Australia. We have so much to choose from, both here domestically and internationally, that just really supporting the people that you respect and adore, that's, you know, that feels good.
Yeah. It's like this whole conversation's been about wine, but it's always brought back to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and how important that, you know, the human connection between it, whether it be a winemaker or someone that sells you wine or your customer or you're the staff member. Like,
it's all about relationships.
The whole point. That's what good food, wine can do those things, and it's obviously so important to you, and I love that.
Yeah, and I think if you get those things right, and I was talking about this with someone just the other day, like if you get that stuff right, you know, the relationships, the reputation, the respect, and the kind of the ethos, so people feel really comfortable coming to your venues knowing that they're going to get a certain experience, then ideally the money side of things, which is always the boring but necessary evil of hospitality, which is tough because it's, you know, it's a fine line between success and failure. But I think if you have a really solid foundation of those things, then that should follow, you know, ideally. Probably doesn't always, but...
Is there a wine list at a particular time that you're most proud of? Or it's kind of always on to the next one? I
was pretty proud at Must. We won... So I was really, as I said, super competitive back then, and I wanted to win Best Wine Bar List in Australia at the Wine List Awards, and I did that, which was cool. I couldn't go to the awards because that rider was like 5 weeks old, So I finally won it and I couldn't go. I was pissed. The story of my life. But that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then when we opened the trustee in the city, the owner said to me, I want to win. He was like, I want to build this great restaurant and I want to win best new list in the country. First year we'll open. And I was like, no worries. And we did. So that was pretty impressive as well. I was pretty happy with that one. That was cool.
Wow.
But I guess at the buildings, I mean, yeah, they're all pretty great. You know, I'm really happy with all of them, and they're all different and they've all got their own little personalities. They're kind of like kids. I mean, the restaurants are like kids. There's always a problem child, right? One of them's always like, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
And the rest of them are like smooth sailing.
Yeah.
But that's just...
Never everything all at once.
Yeah, like everything's never perfect. There's always something that's not quite right. But that's
and take us behind the curtain. Will you be sitting down with chefs and kind of going through the menu and tasting and trying and getting their input and stuff like that?
Yeah, especially wildflower because it's matching.
Yeah.
So that's very important. So a lot of wine and food matching. So tasting dishes and a lot of the flavours in wildflower, because we lean towards native ingredients, they're quite hard to pair with wine. So a lot of bitter things and sour things and salty things. Like very herbal things like, you know, Geraldton wax and Davidson plum. You know, they're not easy flavours and quite high acid a lot of the time. So, and whereas wine is the acid, so often having to work with chefs and say, could you just drop the acid on this? Like
Chefs like, say what?
Yeah, and you know, again, I've worked with some amazing chefs who are just like super collaborative, and that's what they should be. And I weirdly, I always want the chefs to drink more wine. I'm like, you guys need to drink more wine, and I always want to do wine training for chefs because I'm like, you guys, it's so important that you try what's happening.
I would have thought they.
Yeah, and some do. Some chefs loves wine, like they love wine, but some are not as interested. Probably the younger ones. Often they're just like, I guess they're working their way through their apprenticeship and they're just a bit more focused on cooking and they're not really thinking about wine. But I'm like, I try to remind them, like, you have a little taste. Like, it's really important that you know what we're doing out here on the floor, because I feel like for chefs, often they're behind the scenes. They don't have that. They don't see the whole experience.
Yeah.
They're very focused on their one little section of, you know, cold larder
Blinkers
or whatever.
on, yeah.
Which is what they have to do, but it's really nice when they can sort of see it from the other side. And I think it probably makes them feel better about what they're doing as well. Oh, that little thing that I spent all that time on, you know?
Yeah.
You know, when I see it out on the floor and I see people enjoying it and what they're drinking with it, it's, you know, they can be more proud.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You've just come back from, I don't know, drinking 3,000 wines or whatever over in Melbourne. Do you get fatigue when you do that stuff, actually? Like,
Yeah.
is
That'd
it
be cool.
Yeah.
For sure. Tannin especially. I did a lot of Cabernet this year as
Yeah.
well. I, for some reason, got a lot of brackets of Cabernet, and the tannin really can get to you.
Like, where do you feel fatigue? Is it like your mouth? Is it your nose? Is it everything?
Usually my palate, more
Yeah.
so than my nose. Usually my palate, especially with tannin.
Yeah.
Because it just becomes super, super dry. And so then the more things just taste a little bit, you're like, is that right? What am I, you know? So, that's probably the main thing. And just sometimes being in the room, like, you know, the air conditioned, it's a big space. There's like that sort of scent of wine. It's very winey.
Yeah.
You sort of leave the room and you're like, oh God, I just need like fresh air.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to like fresh
Sun
air
and
and
a
a
breeze.
jog, you know, and a glass of milk, weirdly. Like something creamy.
Yeah.
Almost.
Different texture.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually you just have a beer though, because that's
Yeah.
what you do.
That's what you
There's
do.
lots
But,
of beers.
Is that after?
Yeah.
I would have thought.
Cleansing. And then like we have crackers and stuff, lots of water.
Those blocks of cheese.
And
Do
like,
they still do
I
that?
actually like olives. I like green olives, especially when I'm judging Cabernet. Green olives are good.
Yeah.
For some
Yeah,
reason,
right.
the saltiness like helps with the palate. But yeah, and then, you know, at night time, it's like a very strict routine when I'm judging of like hydrolytes, tooth mousse, you know, like all the things
Yeah.
just to try and, you know.
Your teeth like rip to shreds too because of the acid, yeah?
Yeah,
Like,
so you want to look after your enamel. And then I feel like, even though we're spitting everything out, obviously you're still absorbing alcohol. So
Yeah.
lots of water, a couple of hydrolytes a day. Just
Want to work
keep-
in wine, get a good dentist.
Yeah, get a good
Rightio.
dentist. Sort your teeth out. But yeah, it's cool. Right? It's fun. It's like the Olympics of wine drinking.
It's the Olympics of wine drinking.
Well, I can't. I've never been in a setting like that, right? But I have had one. We went to Vinexpo in Singapore to look at some international wines that we're thinking about importing, and it was 3 days of tasting. So you're in this crazy room. There's thousands of producers from everywhere around the world, and you set all your appointments up months in advance. But we really fucked up, and the first 4 hours of day one of tasting, we tasted Barolos, current release Barolos. And legitimately, your
that's tough.
tongue was swollen almost
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Like your mouth is sore from the
Yeah.
amount of tannin that's just dried your tongue out. And you're like, almost like licking a hole in the roof of your mouth because you're
it's full on.
it was gnarly, like hurt, like properly pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where
Proper pain.
it's hard to.
It was crazy.
It was proper pain.
It gets to a
man.
point where you can't spit as well. Like you kind of like just open your mouth and
dribble.
wine just falls out because you're
It's
so
fucking
dry.
crazy.
Yeah, and actually, one of the days I had a coffee and it was like really hot as well. So you can be really careful what you eat while you're judging and what you drink.
It's like the hand model stuff on Seinfeld.
Totally.
It's
Yeah,
like,
literally.
Yeah,
with
you
the
can't fuck it
barista.
up. Like you don't want to get like a burnt tongue. You don't want to have anything like raw onion, raw red onion. Like none of those. Like nothing too spicy. Even like we always go out for Chinese usually like one of the nights, and it's like the MSG kind of fucks with your palate a little bit. So I'm like,
Don't wear deodorant. Don't wear.
like no scents, no perfume, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
The anxiety of the night before.
I've done
I
that a
reckon.
couple times, gone to see Emma, and I've had like aftershave on it a fair
Cologne.
bit, and I'll be like, "Fuck!" and I'll like go in the bathroom trying to like
Get it
rub
off.
it off and shit.
I
It's
know.
quite funny.
The amount of
Rub it
reps
out.
that wear fucking perfume, actually, for those that are listening, please stop wearing cologne and perfume when you come to see me. So,
No more.
no more.
I'd-
It's so strong, and it's like you can't. Yeah, it's really hard to smell. And I love scents. Like I love wearing scents, but I never wear them to work
Yeah.
because, you could, like you just can't.
Yeah, that's
like
for holidays.
just changes the whole room scent, and I think again because we smell so much, I'm really susceptible to smell. So I'm like I smell for a living. Which is actually, again, good for teenage boys because I sniff them all the time. It's a sniff test.
Oh yeah, they're not getting away with
Yeah.
shit.
I'm like,
You've been
What's
having.
that?
You just
What's that?
have a cigarette.
Yeah.
Did you?
I haven't even walked in the front door yet.
yeah. They're like, what? Or like, even like down to what they've eaten. I'm like, what have you
Do you see like when you smell something? Do you like see it in like a color or anything in your brain? Because I feel like you
Yeah,
would be
I-
a little bit like that.
Yeah, I have certain like scents that remind me of things like really
Things.
vividly. And
Yep.
yeah, like there's smell is crazy. It's like my strongest scent. And like I'll smell things and just be reminded of like quite often, especially this time of year, like the warm spring days and like the smell of freshly cut grass.
This shit. Yeah.
And it like reminds me of like primary school sports carnival day, like
Yep.
vividly. I'm like back there.
So you say green shirt, green faction.
Yeah, I was
Like-
red.
It's
I was red. So I'm back there at the start line, freaking out because I was a shit runner. So like stressing out, and I'm like, oh my god, sports
you
carnival.
would have been hell good at high jump.
No, mate. Have you seen me do sports? Baby giraffe, really not great. People always go, oh, you're really tall. You would have been good. I'm like, yeah. There's tall, and then there's coordination, and they're two very separate things. I trip over everything all the time. Always
Yeah, but
tripping.
you can smell good, so that's all right.
Yeah, that's my skill.
That's such a good question, though, about kind of what's going through your brain and your mind's
Yeah.
eye while you're,
Yeah.
smelling, tasting.
And
the
like
whole
these
shebang.
kind of moments where, like Erin referred to it once, and I've loved using this expression that I stole off her, but she calls them like splinter moments, where it's like you taste one or you smell something and it kind of splintered in your brain, and then every time you
it's
smell
there.
it, it's the same. It's there. It's the same thing, and you just kind of go back to the little splinter, and you're like, oh yes, Mornington Pinot. I know that.
Yeah, that's
It's
fucking
cool.
cool. This is
Yeah.
when you're tasting like that. That's you got to.
You've
So
got
how many
to
little-
have these little things where you smell a certain thing, and you're like, that's that. I know that, and then you go through the little file of facts of brain.
I've seen this.
muscle memory and go, okay, that's that smell that I associate with these things, but it's got that, so it must be that thing. And then you can whittle it down to what it might be.
Wow.
And big SOM thing, right, where they do blind tastings. So like people will bring out wines and won't tell you what it is, and you've got to try and figure it out. And I've seen lots of people do it, and I've seen one which was like almost the top 5% of SOMs in a room. I was sitting, and then me. Sitting on the floor, and someone's brought out a bottle of wine, and they're all debating about what it was, and they're getting real wordy and all this sort of shit. And Emma's just like, "It's this." She's like, "It's fucking Alsatian Riesling." And, like that was all she said. And like they've debated about it for fucking like an
being
hour.
impatient.
Yeah, and then they've like pulled it off. It was
it
like
could be-
exactly what.
But it could be. I
what
was like,
Em
it's
said.
not. It's not.
It was
that, it's just
crazy.
that. Yeah.
It was the
good.
coolest
It's good when you
shit
nail
ever.
those things.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh fucking nice, whatever Emma said. Hey, I was with her.
Yeah, just say it with
It was
confidence.
quite
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. It's good when you get those right. You don't always, but it's good when you
It's
get
a
them
big
right.
dick measuring contest most
Yeah.
of the time, but yeah,
It is.
you know.
That's why I sort of am like, oh, God, are we doing this again? You know. But I'm not a very sommy som, so
Yeah.
yeah.
There's two.
Technically, I'm
there's
not
couple
actually a
things
trained sommelier, so
Right.
I studied wine, but I didn't study.
What did you study? Like,
I studied under a master of wine who was living here.
Roger.
And so he was running this course up at Edith Cowan. So it was kind of like it was a really interesting little situation. It was kind of odd and strange. But it was essentially the same as doing like WECT diploma.
Roger.
But it wasn't that.
Yeah.
Because it was run through the
Well,
university.
that you couldn't even do that in Australia for like ages.
And you couldn't do it back then when I was doing that. So it was cool.
Yeah.
It was good. So I learned everything about it. And we did a lot of tasting and it was really cool. We did topics like, wine and art, wine and religion, wine and sex, wine and film, wine and, it was really cool. I'd kind of, wish to do it again. But
that sounds very interesting.
yeah.
Like,
And
Do they still run that course, or it's all different now?
no, because he moved away.
Yeah, right.
So they were
So it
only
was all
running
based on him.
based around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was cool. But I've never done the sort of, stand in a room in a suit and compete.
Yeah.
I don't like competitions, really. Like, I'll compete with myself mainly, but I don't really compete with other people, which is weird. Should unpack that. Should take that one to therapy.
That's for Wine
so
Club.
we're here.
That's
Yeah.
Wine Club. I'll
Yeah.
take that to the next
Take that to
Lawson
Wine
Flats
Club.
Wine Club and unpack that over there. I don't really love. I've never been a huge fan of the studying test world. I'd rather do something. I like to do things
Yeah.
with my hands. I'd rather go and make wine or pick grapes or do vintage rather than read about it in a book.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's like each
So it's the way my brain
people
works.
learn different. Yeah,
Yeah.
people learn differently.
Yeah.
Emma works.
Yeah.
I'm more definitely down your track as well.
Yeah.
But the one thing you realise when you're around people like Emma and the pointy end of town is like it's just the amount of that you drink, like the amount of wines that you taste, like
Yeah.
directly correlates pretty much to how much you know. Like
Yeah,
you can't,
lots
you
of
can
tasting.
read whatever
Yeah.
you want in a textbook.
you got to
Unless
taste.
you've tasted it,
gotta
unless
go
you've
and
been there. For me, like if I've been to a
Yeah, and
vineyard
going to a place as
smelt
well.
the rocks and
Yeah.
like different story.
Splinter mine.
Put 'em in your mouth.
I understand that shit.
Yeah. And I'm the same. Like there are countries I'm not great. Like I'm not great with Spain because I've never been to Spain. And I think as well, being from Perth, a lot of people, like it is a bit of a disadvantage because if you're in Europe, you can
just go.
And when she was living in London for ages, so she was, just back and forth to vineyards in
Yeah.
Europe all the time. Whereas I've been a couple of times, but you kind of cram as much as you can in a couple of weeks. And even being being in WA as opposed to the East Coast, like to go
a lot
over
harder.
east, it's like, I only went to Hunter for the first time a couple of years ago, and it's like a really important region in Australia, but because it's tiny and we don't sell a lot of Hunter wine in WA, I'm trying to change that because I love it. But
Yeah.
I love Hunter.
What do you love about it?
I love Semillon and I love Shiraz. I think they're great. They're just really cool wines. They're very, I really like wine that's very much of a place and can't really be replicated anywhere else.
Yeah,
So you kind of get wines that are like speak of region, and then you can get wines, I guess, that are a bit more international. And sometimes you taste things like could have come from anywhere. So I really like wine that speaks of place. And for me, Hunter, Shiraz and Semillon is very identifiable and delicious.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
and
it's
what do you
cool.
about WA? You think to WA, everyone thinks Cabernet, Chardonnay. Like, is that what you think of?
Look, I certainly
Where-
love both of those things, and I love that we do them so well. I always want people to drink more Cabernet. Chardonnay's doing well, but Cabernet is like
It's hard to sell that.
awesome. I just love Cabernet, and it's harder to sell, especially on the East Coast. Like WA Cabernet is harder to sell. But I think what I always sort of promote about WA wines is that we have such premium wine. Like we don't have those giant sort of glutty regions where they're making lakes and lakes of really kind of cheaper
Average piece.
stuff. We're lucky over here. Like everything is really well made, like within, I guess reason. Like everything's well made. We're really high quality stuff. Whether you're in Margaret River, Great Southern, Geograph, Swan, like a lot of small producers, a lot of great, really well made wines. So we're very lucky. And like kind of unknown, still really good value as well. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I kind of want more people to drink them, but also I'm like, no, save
Yeah.
them for us. Because I'm a hoarder of wine, like bad. I've got a wine hoarding problem.
How much wine do you have?
Personally, myself, not that much
Yeah.
because I have children
You need one of those ice
and a
scanners at
mortgage.
home.
It's like, but I do, like I've got a husky, which I try and rotate, But then I've got quite a bit of old stuff in there and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like old wine. So I need to like open things more regularly. I think it's a wine crisis we all have. You never have what you want to drink in your fridge.
100%.
And I just try and buy a lot of stuff that I want to drink that I'm buying in, and just so I can keep, abreast of what's going on.
Yeah.
So often I'll taste stuff, then I'll buy it in for one of the venues or the shop or whatever, and I'll be like, I want to buy one of those and drink it because it was really great to taste. And then often you forget, and then it's sold before you've even had a
Yeah,
chance
you
to buy
never
one.
got one.
But we have a really amazing cellar. I'm fortunate enough that my director views wine as an investment, so I'm allowed to buy a lot of great stuff to cellar and then feed into the venues as well, which
Yeah,
is
right.
really cool. So that's quite mighty.
Yeah.
It's a good collection.
Keeping a track of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rotating stuff through and making, okay, well, that we need to sell that, and trying to make sure I'm not buying for what I like, what
Yeah.
I'm buying for. It's not. I always have to remind myself, this isn't mine. But it is, like, it's good stuff, and Barolo never goes bad, right? So
Never. But that would be
heaps
the
of
one
Barolo.
big thing though. Like when you don't want to put wines in there too long that you can't sell because they've passed their peak. Like that would
Yeah.
be so upsetting. Like
yeah, exactly. So
I would
just
have
making
thought, like
sure.
it's upsetting when I've drunk stuff that
Yeah.
I'm drinking it and I'm like, fuck, that is so shit now. Like I
Yes.
should have drunk that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Or
Or sometimes you get the opposite where it's like, shit, that's
too early.
it's too early. I should have kept that. Like that 16
Mate, it was
SRS that we tried the other day. I was
Yeah.
like, I was thinking it was going to be way more developed,
but it
than
looked like a
was.
baby.
And it looked like 2 years old.
It's the one that Flame Tree SRS Chardonnay, which I've
Yeah.
basically had a meltdown over on the podcast before.
Because it's delicious.
But that was the 23. Em had some 2016 in the cellar and was on by the glass at Wine Corner, and it
Wine
looked
Merchant.
like it was bottled yesterday. Like it was.
Oh, really?
So fresh. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
It was wicked.
Crazy fresh.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what, screw caps are doing for, I think Margaret River's Chardonnay in particular. Those wines are, they're aging slowly,
Yeah.
which is cool, but sometimes you're like, oh, I would have
Move
liked
on.
I wanted it a little more progressive.
I've seen the opposite with some of my stuff. And to be fair, majority of the stuff was like heavily oaked or like full Malo.
Yeah.
And I've looked at
Yeah.
them like 8, 9, 10 years old, and I'm like, like I wish I drank that 4 years, like 3.
Yeah.
It just was too.
Yeah, and that's when it
It's
comes
lost
down to
everything. Yeah, and it's just popcorn or
Yeah. knowing
butter.
producer and style.
Yeah.
Like those SRS wines live forever.
They will.
Like Fraser Gallop Parterre, those wines live forever. They're super lean and,
Yummy.
they're just yummy. Yeah. The Suckfizz wines, they live forever. They're so lean and just like flinty and like.
Yeah, I love
But
it.
then, like when I was judging last week, I tried some. There's a lot of like shit wine in Australia, and people, you're judging like, and you think you're going to get these great panels, and you do. You'll get a panel of like beautiful 24 Tassie Pinots, delicious, or I definitely did some Margaret Chardonnay, which was just a treat to judge. But then you get, 2021 and older Cabernets from mixed regions, and you're like mixed regions other, and you're like, ooh, this is going to be fun, like. And everything's kind of brown, and you're like brown, browning, brown, oxidized, developed, tired, flat, dull. Like how many words are there for this is old and
Maybe
gross?
too old, yeah.
So, which is a shame because Cabernet should age beautifully. So there are still some wines being made, or there are a lot of wines being made in Australia that shouldn't be.
Yeah. So not all tasting days are created equal.
Not all tasting days are created equal. Sometimes you used to get there and you're like, what's your first flight? Prosecco, good. And it's important. It's important,
Yeah.
right? It's an important category because we sell a shit ton of
So
Prosecco.
much.
But, weeding through them, pulling out the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
very
where.
super
difficult.
fun.
Very
Not
difficult.
super fun, but that's all right. That's what we're there for. And it's really, it is. I do feel like it's a real honour to be there and doing it. And you've got to remember, like, someone has put
A lot of effort.
a lot of effort into, well, that's why I try and remind myself, you don't know what you're tasting, obviously, but you have to be respectful of.
And they see all the notes, yeah? So, like, you got
Yes.
to be like,
I'm super positive because they do ask you to be constructive.
Yeah.
Constructive feedback. So obviously if there's any faults, you want to point them out, but and colour's obviously really important with certain styles of wine as well. So if it is kind of brown in colour, you're like, okay, it's a 3-year-old Cabernet, shouldn't be brown. You know what I mean? But I always find myself, I was talking about it last week, I find myself writing, and again, because I'm a style judge, not a winemaker, so winemakers often will speak a little bit more techie and their notes will be a bit more techie, whereas I'm a little bit more flowery, which is fine. That's what I'm there for. But if I don't like it, or there's something about it, I use these words like slightly, looks almost a touch of, just to try and be like, it's not hideous, but again, it's a compliment sandwich.
Yeah, a little bit
Some
of soft
nice
egg.
lifted fruits.
Yeah.
Very short finish,
Yeah.
So you sort of have to be like, I don't want to chicane this, but I also
Gotta be honest.
Yeah, and the producers need the feedback. So if they're getting they're not getting a medal,
they don't know
the
why.
notes need to reflect that.
Give them something,
You
yeah.
can't write really beautiful notes and then give no medal
Yeah.
because that's confusing for them. They're like, what do you want?
Yeah.
I don't understand. So you've
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
be like consistent.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's in the glass there, mister?
This is a Margaret River Chardonnay from Cape Landing. It's their reserve Chardonnay.
What year is it?
2023.
23. I was.
Belter.
a good year.
vintage. Belter. So southern tip of Carradale. I believe some of this fruit goes into Domain Naturalist into their top end Chardonnays. The Clone 95 would be in the Purist, the Gin Gin in the Artist, but this is their own little brand as well. So he grows the fruit, but yeah, I mean,
nice.
I had a sample of it, so I thought,
Why not?
can't not have a glass of wine when we're on a fucking wine
podcast.
podcast.
That would be
Yeah,
sad.
that's it. Makes sense.
That would be a sad day for everybody.
Margaret Chardonnay.
Nice.
Why not?
It's delicious. And, I always say to people, drink. I actually said this to someone yesterday because people always save their best wines for good days and good occasions. Oh, I'm saving it for a special occasion. I'm going to save that for something good. And I always say drink your best wines on your shittest days.
Yeah, agree. It's a really good.
Not always.
Tuesday's a really good day.
Like drink great wine on your good days too. But like,
Celebrate too,
Sometimes
but-
if you're having a really
like
crap
it.
day,
Yeah, if you're having
the
a
only
shocker.
thing you can do
Yeah.
is have a great glass of wine. And then at least you're kind of like,
You just had one good like moment in your day. Yeah.
yeah, it's like finishing on a little bit of a high.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's really important to me. I feel like that's really, I want people to do that more.
All right. I reckon that's a nice
more.
little kind of
That is
rule and a nice way to kind of finish this
Roll it
up
up
too.
into a ball and
Wrap
bowl
it
it
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was great.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Put on a t-shirt. Yeah,
Many
we'll sell a
things.
few of those.
Many
Yeah, I like
things I
that.
want to put on t-shirts.
Hey, thanks so much for the time. Good to,
Thank you for
good
having
to have a
me.
yarn. And yeah, it's a nice little kind of principle to kick on with, I reckon, Mister.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on. I know
Thank
how
you for
busy
having
you are.
me.
You're
Oh, it was
the
a pleasure.
best.
Always. Love a chat.
You're the best, Em. Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. JB, you're the man.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is really good.
All right.